So let's talk about November 5th. And you're going to vote for either Trump or Kamala Harris or some third party person, or you're not going to show up at all, which I think is going to be a factor, by the way. I think there's a group of Americans who don't like either candidate and are not going to go. You should go. Even if you don't want to vote for them, vote down ticket. But it's not really about Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. It's about what kind of a country you want. So Trump will govern, if he's elected, in the traditional way he governed the first time around. To spend a lot of money. He's not going to be a budget buster. Not going to be that. It's not what he does. He will lower taxes. You'll have more money in your pocket. He'll make deals overseas. I'm confident he'll stop the Ukraine war. I don't know what he'll do in the Middle East. It's more complicated. But he can deal with Putin. Proved he can. And it'll be America is a noble country. That's what Trump runs on. So we're going to keep most of our traditions in place if Trump wins. If Harris wins, it'll be a continuation of the progressive movement. We're really not a great country, so we got to change everything to bring social justice to the Americans who have been harmed by the white patriarchy. That means white people rule. That's what the progressive movement is. We're going to change everything. If we can get 9 justices on a Supreme Court, we don't want 9. We want 15. So there'll be a political body. We don't want a filibuster in the Senate. We want a majority vote. It works both ways, but it's much easier to pass onerous legislation. When you only have to get majority, you don't have to get 60. That's why the founding fathers built all this stuff in. Make it difficult to really disrupt the fabric of the United States. Well, that's exactly what the progressives want. They want to disrupt it. Biden, a man with no beliefs at all, went along. Harris is a true believer. San Francisco values. Progressive machine all the way. And the people around her as far left as you can get. Bernie Sanders, big voice in her ear. And Bernie Sanders is a communist. He's a hardcore communist. So you'll get wealth tax, you'll get reparations, you'll get all of this stuff, DEI, preferential treatment for certain groups, all of that is coming in. It'll be one court fight after another, polarization, illegal immigration up to everybody's eyebrows, very few restraints. So you're voting for keeping a traditional country or revamping the whole thing in a leftist vision. Now, the final thing is you. If you buy into the progressive movement, that means that you are okay with losing personal freedom. The more power the federal and state governments have, the less freedom you have. Let me give you a very good example. Denmark. Ever been there? I have. Okay. Nice little country. I think it's 6 million Danes. Okay. Capital is Copenhagen. So if you move to Denmark and say, hey, I want to live here, here's what you have to pay. Individual income tax, 52%. Capital gains tax, 42%. Property tax, 4%. Consumption tax. Oh, here it comes. This is called value added. So you want to buy something. How about a Lamborghini? 32% on everything you buy. Consumption tax. So in the end, you add it all up and you are paying 80% of the money in your wallet to Copenhagen. But then they dare say, but this is what you get for your 80%. Remember, you'll have 20% left, And you got to buy food. They're not going to give you food. You got to pay rent, although a lot of it's subsidized. Gas in a car, whatever, if you have a car. All right, so the Danish government gives you this. Paid parental leave, child benefits. Kamala Harris, hello. Subsidized daycare centers. All school paid for. All school. Okay? Health care paid for. Government health care. Psychological care for youths 18 to 24 paid for. Unemployment, disability, sickness paid for. Housing allowance. So if you rent, you get a housing allowance. Early retirement with disability. State retirement, 67 years old, they pay a pension to you. Okay? Subsidized public transportation, subsidized social clubs, no tolls, and pretty much cradle to grave. They will even pay the Danish government for your funeral. Okay? So that's the trade. 80% of your take home goes to the government, and you get all of that. You want that? A lot of people want it because they're not strivers. They go, okay, I'm taken care of. I got my security. But the government calls the shots. Government can make more of this or less of it. You don't have any say in it. Okay? You can vote, but this is the system over there. So all the candidates are in it. Not going to have Donald Trump running for president in Denmark. And it's a fairly peaceful country now, but very tough on undocumented migrants now. Because they got hosed, they couldn't pay all these benefits to everybody from Turkey and North Africa. So now it's stringent over there. In order to get the benefits, you got to jump through 50 hoops. So the benefits are primarily for the 6 million Danes, descendants of the Vikings. Now, I don't want any part of that. I'm sorry. I just don't. I want to be free to pursue happiness, opportunities, to keep at least half my money, because they're up around 50% here in America. If it goes more than 50, I'll retire. What's the point? So I like my freedom. I don't want Washington telling me what to eat, what to drive, how to live, how to protect myself. I don't want it. Don't want it. I want a traditional government that allows Americans self-reliance and to pursue happiness the way they want to. Harris is totally opposite that. Just so you know, because I want you to know. I'm not pushing a vote for Trump, but you gotta know.